Can you hear him? Say...
That's so cool. Like, to be honest, that doesn't even make me sad. That's just cool. Like, that's awesome.
Please.
That was, like, the coolest way that it could have ended up. And I was talking about, like, the differences the whole time. You know what I mean? Like, with why he is the way that he is, and you know what I mean?
You can't leave us! Not like this!
I'm here.
If you do, I'll never forgive you. So come on! Open your eyes and get up!
Alizé's like, get up or I'll kill you again! I'll make sure you're dead! I'm literally just screenshotting this whole thing. Oh, that's cool. That's how the credits come in. Oh.
Are you with us? Oh, thank the heavens. For a moment we thought...
Is everyone okay?
After what you've done, you're the last person to be asking that.
After what you did?
How can you keep your promise if you're not here?
I'd made a promise previously. I had to fight Xenos.
Another fine show you've put on, my friend.
I made too many promises while forgetting the other things.
Indeed. What were you thinking? Fighting alone? Never do that again. My poor heart couldn't bear it.
Put yourself in our place. If you hadn't returned, how do you think we would feel? And if that sounds harsh, it's because we care.
This is Thancred.
We tended to thy wounds as best we could. But how is the pain? That is gladdening. Grievous as thine injuries were, however, I would counsel repose for a time.
Gladdening! There's nothing gladdening about this.
Aww.
When Meteion appeared in here and told
She's
us
still so
that you
mad
were
at
right
me.
behind her, we all got our hopes up. But you never came. And when you finally deigned to appear, you're within an ilm of your life.
I'm in so much trouble.
Damn you! Damn you for making us worry!
Aww.
Oh, those were cries of celebration! Anyway, well, the important thing is that you're all alive and in reasonably good health, and we mean to get you back that way. As for your earlier request, I'm quite certain we're in range to make contact now.
Ah, excellent. Let us announce our return at once. I hope you're ready.
Yeah. And that was an incredible battle. Like, that was incredible. That was so much fun.
While you were unconscious, we set out from Ultima Thule, you see. Can you stand? If so, you may wish to see what's outside.
An actual blue sky.
We're home, my friend. We're home.
I'm so excited to see, like, where this goes from here. Seriously? Oh, that's cool. That's the picture that everybody always gets. Okay. I have seen that, actually. I had to get the screenshot. That's the one that everyone's been getting. Oh, that artwork is really cute, too! That's cool.
Dearest mother, dearest father, this letter will be the very last that I write to you from the Rising Stones. As I commit these words to parchment, I fondly recall my journey as a scion. From the time I first walked into the Order's former halls, to the time I set forth to forestall the final days.
That's cute.
At the farthest reaches of the Sea of Stars, we fought the battle of our lives.
Really? Like, these are post-credit things.
Fought
Can we
against
stop,
despair itself. A veritable maelstrom of it, fed by the resignation that dwelled in the hearts of beings not so unlike ourselves. Full oft have I harbored the same malaise. Have I been brought to my knees, crushed by the weight of sorrow and defeat, convinced that I will never rise again. However,
Syncred's emo days when he was a
I
pirate.
have also known many moments of unbridled joy and happiness. By this truth do I find hope within, blooming resplendent, like the Elpis flower.
That was probably the coolest look, though.
And thus
Like, before
do
he
I
became
endure.
Dad Crid. Oh, really?
Do I look forward to creating more memories with my friends and loved ones.
Or
For
before
from these fertile seeds,
he started wearing the
yet
same
more
outfits
hope
as
shall
Yoshi P.
spring forth. And they will grow to become shining lights that illuminate the dark. Thus believing, I leave the Rising Stones behind, as will my comrades. For, as we have decided, after careful deliberation, we are disbanding the Scions of the Seventh Dawn.
Oh, that's so weird. There will be no more Prey Return?
There you are, Alphino.
That's so weird.
Everyone is already gathered in the foyer.
My apologies. I'll be right there. At least, That is what the story will be.
Wait, what? Uh-huh.
Sorry to keep you all waiting.
What could you possibly have left to do now?
Oh, just a letter.
I imagine it will be a while before we can gather like this again.
So it must be, if we're to keep up appearances. From now on, it falls to the Grand Company of Eorzea and its allies to deal with the realm's crises.
Meanwhile, we shall return to our erstwhile ways. Retreating from plain sight to take our place in the shadows once more.
Huh.
Indeed. For the foreseeable future, I expect that we must work independently as we seek out problems that want for solving. But a day will come when we face another great challenge, and we will face it together, as we always have.
As much as I look forward to that day, I do hope it doesn't come anytime soon.
Poor Kryle. She's like, can we just be done with this?
Well, formal association or no, if any of you should require my services, you need but ask. I'll be glad to keep my lance arm honed.
That's
I'll hold
dirty.
you to that. So you had better keep your link pearl on hand.
Literally everything that Thancred says now, I'm just
So
shaking
you
my
really
head
mean
at.
to stay, Tataru?
Oh, someone has to keep the Rising Stones in proper order. And even a super secret organization requires a super secret base of operations. To the rest of the world, it will be naught more than a workshop for Eorzea's foremost up-and-coming artisan. If you thought our coffers were full to bursting before, just wait till I can devote myself wholly to the crafts.
She's so scary. Like...
Plotting to build a mercantile empire to rival that of Lord Lodorito, are we?
I, for one, look forward to your future successes, Tataru. As do I our next meeting.
And with that, I believe it is past time you all made ready to depart. Leave no preparations undone or words unsaid, all right? Now, off with you.
I love how, like, the trailer and everything starts with a red flag for Alphino, and then everything ends with Alphino too. Like, he's writing back to his parents. That's actually really kind of cool. I know, right? Go on, Xandrii. Don't miss this chance to say a word to each of our friends. After all you've been through together, I'm sure they'd appreciate it. I can still scarce believe our battle extended to the ends of creation, but seeing the Scion's mission to completion was both an honor and a privilege. As for myself, I've spent quite a while away from home, so I think I'll return to Lim Silimensa for now. And once I get there, my first words of business will be downing a pint or 3 at the Drowning Wench. 'Tis a shame the Scions are disbanding, even if only in name. I still fondly recall the day you granted me my uniform. The memory remains vivid, yet it feels like a lifetime ago. I considered returning to the Adder's Nest, but since I've come this far, I've decided I ought to continue my journey and venture to Garlemald instead. I can't hold a candle to the infamous wandering minstrel, but I thought I might share with the Garleans the tale of your epic deeds. Extend to them an olive branch of song, if you will. That's cool. I know, right? The exploits of you and your companions are truly an inspiration to us all. I have never felt more compelled to hone my own skills, that I one day might be able to accomplish such heroic deeds. Armgus means to visit Limsa Lominsa, and I will join him and continue my search. I know not when we will meet again, but please take care of yourself. You were but an amateur adventurer when we first met, but look at you now. You've grown into quite the fine young lass, just as I always knew you would. One might say I ought to settle down in my old age, but seeing you now has set my adventurous spirit ablaze once more. But the first journey I set out upon will be a long-awaited hot springs tour with my dear friend, or me. I know, right? There has been naught but chaos since the Telophoroi first appeared. Towers, lunar primals, the Empire, the final days. Yet we have weathered it all and lived to see the sun rise on a new day. And now that peace has returned, I can finally resume my travels with my grandfather. Perhaps we will go first to Kugane to relax in the Bokaisen hot springs. That might be nice. Of course, my journey will not simply be for pleasure. I will collect information on the territories I travel. Perhaps I shall visit Nagia V. Doma. That's cool. Seen to your preparations, have you? I'm just making another sweep of my belongings. Wouldn't do to find I've forgotten something halfway to my destination. In case you hadn't heard, we've received new reports detailing the devastation caused by the final days. It appears the situation is gravest in the lands surrounding the Bounty, where the sky first began to burn. After that, the calamity was observed in the far north, in Garlemald and the frozen lands beyond. We also had reports of the heavens catching fire in isolated locations, one of which was an area in the northern Empty. Had our quest taken any longer, Charlian too may have come under threat. Thank goodness it's over now. To be sure, blasphemies and lesser beasts may still be roaming about, but these localized crises should be well within the capacities of each nation to handle on their own. The Scions are no longer needed. Which isn't to say that we won't help out where we can, of course. As individuals, no more of this order business. For my part, I'll be heading to Garlemald with Alphino. They were among the worst affected and still need all the help they can get. It won't be easy. An inevitable part of aiding those in need is coming face to face with tragedy. Knowing it doesn't make it any easier, though. That I'll curse my weakness, my inability to fix every problem and save every lost soul. But no matter how much it hurts, I won't give up. I'll do what I can for as many people as I can, begrudging no effort. And should I find myself discouraged, I'll remember you. Think back fondly to one of your many moments of triumph and the accompanying determined expression. She smirks. Even those that still annoy me in retrospect, like when you activated the teleporter without warning. And should you hear about me, I want you to remember too. Remember that I'm out there somewhere trying my very best. Think you can keep up with me? The next time we meet, I'll be vastly improved, so don't be surprised when you find yourself marveling at me. These should have been voiced too, in my opinion. That would have been really, really cool. Thou hast spoken with our comrades. Though this parting be not forevermore, 'tis nonetheless occasion for sorrow. Akin to a pixie's path, the navigation of such farewells is a perilous endeavor indeed. For their part, however, the Loporrits embark upon a new beginning. Though bereft of its purpose as a vessel, the moon yet remaineth hospitable for the creatures of Aetheris. Thus do our lunar visitors convene with the Forum, intent upon assigning some new and beneficial role to our solitary satellite. Yet ere that may come to pass, there is much and more each party must learn of the other, a process which doth promise to be eventful indeed. To To that end, a cadre of Loporrits hath gleefully dispersed across our lands in the name of mutual understanding. Hydaelyn, 'tis said, did imbue them with her love for all things born of this star, and 'tis Vana's own nature, I believe, which doth manifest in this irrepressible, inexhaustible curiosity of theirs. I know. Having witnessed that which they strove to achieve, I wished most keenly for their long labors to be rewarded, that their abiding affection for man result in a boon for all. Moreover, I hope to continue our acquaintance and share in such knowledge as they see fit to impart. You are the first to truly understand them. I mean, that's true. That's no moon. Dost thou think so? The Loporrits are certainly possessed of a unique outlook, and it hath been my pleasure to act as their facilitator upon this star. Mayhap I might yet serve as a bridge betwixt them and their fellow man, as Moon Britta once did for me. I want the Loporrits as a beast tribe. That would be cool. But I shall digress no further. This day should belong to the scions of the seventh dawn, to mine incomparable companions. Ofttimes hath mine reticence caused thee grief, and mine actions spurred allies to suspect betrayal. And yet, here amongst you I still stand. No amount of words could express my gratitude for thine acceptance and forgiveness. Thus instead, I do proffer my humble support. Be it unto the deepest abyss or the highest heavens, even if I must needs founder cross stormy seas, ever shall I answer thy summons. Feels a little strange now me link pearl's gone quiet. Since my new unique skills no longer are needed for the safety of the star and all that, I'm going to become an adventurer like you, traveling far and wide. I imagine I'll start by heading to Maricidia or the New World, just need to find myself a ship first. Arnvald has pressing matters, according to him anyway. A pity he couldn't be here to witness this momentous occasion, though he bids me tell you congratulations. As for me, once the scions disband, I attempt to resume my work in Rhalgr's Reach. I suppose Arnvald will need support in Garabania too, though he would not admit as much. Well, he will have my help whether he wants it or not. Yeah, that would make sense too. But thank you guys again so much for the gift subs and all of the Prime subs and everything. For anyone who doesn't know, I actually do content creation full-time, and if you missed any part of this, I will also be posting shorter highlight vids on YouTube. And make sure to get into the Discord as well. And make sure to follow and turn on notifications, because I stream essentially every day around 9 a.m. Central, except Sundays. Unless I miss a day, then I might stream on a Sunday. Alright, oh Xandrii, how are you feeling? Any lingering aches or pains? I can't apologize enough for sending Xenos to find you in Ultima Thule. What? That was like the coolest part! When he came to me in Sharlayan, I was truly torn. As ever, there was only one thing on his mind. Forced to make a decision, I reasoned that if he would not be deterred from seeking you out, he might at least aid us in our cause, and so I struck a bargain. In the end, he was true to his word, and you defeated him despite your earlier exertions, but knowing the state you were found in, it could have ended very differently. My decision almost cost your life, and no words could express the remorse I feel. That was an awesome fight, though. Oh, I know, but still, that was awesome. It is a relief to hear you say that. Thank you. Time and time again, I've been made to feel woefully inadequate. I wasn't much use in battle, nor could I face the Forum without my nerves getting the better of me. It always fell to you and the others. Eddie's on my arm. Do you guys see his face in the corner? Oh, he just moved. I must and will do better. And I shall begin with the restoration of the students of Baldesion. Through our work, Charlian will strengthen its ties with other nations that may be better prepared to face whatever threats arise in future. Of course, this isn't something I can accomplish alone, but thankfully I have the staunchest of help in Raha and Ojika, and our other remaining members. Together, we'll continue Grandfather's work. As before, certain commissions will take us to dangerous locales, and we may need to call upon seasoned adventurers. In such times, might you be willing to assist us? Not because you feel obliged, mind you, but because you feel allure for the task itself. I love how I'm always punching my fist. Like, yeah, let's go. Marvelous. Should something of interest arise, I shan't hesitate to reach out to you. Until that day, I shall endeavor to become a more dependable comrade. Xandrii, pray forgive me for delaying the gathering. I don't have any more, buddy. I was writing a letter, you see, to my parents. As busy as Father has been tending the aftermath of the Exodus, he has been good enough to show concern for the Scions. And besides, I've made them worry enough for a lifetime. Henceforth, I will endeavor to write as often as I'm able. A little effort to set their minds at ease while we continue to be away from Charlian. Both Alize and I are off to assist with Garlemald's recovery, you see. Though uncertainty remains over what will become of the nation, we cannot well leave the capital in its present state. We will rejoin those members of the Ilsabard contingent still stationed there. Lucia and Maxima helm the relief effort, with support from our allies, the people of Garlemald, among them. They will gradually be joined by those who have finished treating the tempered across the lands. You're a good boy. Lest you misunderstand, we do not seek redemption for failing Licinia and her sister. That is a burden we must always bear. Nay, we go because of the truth in Lord Quintus's words. The truth that, whatever ideals individuals may espouse, nations are not moved to action unless they stand to benefit. For the foreseeable future, the fallen empire will be at the mercy of both internal and external forces. And though I do not doubt the intentions of the contingent, with greater powers involved in the relief effort, our allies may well find themselves drawn into a political agenda. In going, we seek to ensure that the needs of the people come first, to understand their hearts, that we might better help them to begin anew. I know, right? You'd best write me too. It would be cool if they started doing that, like sending things like that in the mail for you. Write you letters? Of course I would be glad to do so. Like, that's one of the things that they have in Guild Wars 2 that I actually really love. But I would be gladder still were you to come and visit, and I believe I speak for Alize as well. For fairly as long as I've been in Eorzea, you've been at my side, watching over me in good times and in bad. How many times have we gathered to share tidings? None could possibly keep count. The world is changing, and I will continue to do so. Yet no matter what the future brings, I hope that I can ever look to you. In good times and in bad, as a dependable comrade and dear friend both. Thank you, Xandrii, from the bottom of my heart. You're welcome. I'm such an amazing character. Oh right, I'd already talked to Tataru. The salvation Minfilia dreamed for Eorzea comes closer to reality with every step the Scions take. The world may still be in the throes of change, but it is improving. I see it happening day by day, and I sit here, praying that whatever new road you walk will bring you the wonder and joy you deserve. Should you need a rest in between your journeys, do come and join me on the terrace for old time's sake. Our champion and savior, I was beginning to think my chance for an audience would never come. That sounded more amusing in my head. Speaking of heads, I was worried about yours, and the rest of you, for that matter. On the mend, I trust. Glad to hear it. You were in a bad way, and healing magics or no, I'm impressed by how swiftly you've recovered. Then again, 'tis hardly the first time you've cheated death. Your strength of will has never failed to astonish me. Words. Look at what you've accomplished. Metion defeated, her Song of Oblivion cut short, the Source and all her reflections delivered from the final days. If you had faltered at the last, then all hope would have been lost, but you held fast. Now Reen has a tomorrow to look forward to, and I could ask for no greater gift than that. As for a lesser gift, however, the next time you see her, I would appreciate you not describing my travel plans with Urianger as aimless wandering. We've a purpose in our roaming, after all, keeping an eye on things in the absence of the Scions on the world stage. There will never be an end to the little problems that go untended by nations. We will do our best to help out where and when we can. I forgot that we said that. Which I suppose is an approach not far removed from aimless wandering when you get down to it. Perhaps you could tell her I'm faring well and leave it at that, eh? I need to mention this feeling of being uprooted. I've never been one to stand still for long, but when I think of home, 'tis the rising stones which comes to mind. How many times have we set out from this base, thence to return, when our work was done? On the day the Scions came together, I only hoped for Minfilia to make a place where she belonged, but never did I expect to find one here for myself. Indulge me, Xandrii, I have a question for you, and imagine Minfilia herself is asking. Are you glad you joined the Scions? Aw, I will. Best decision I've ever made. There you go. I can honestly say the same. But all good things must come to an end, at least for a time. Should you need a helping hand for infiltration or reconnaissance, yeah. You know where to ask. I'll come running, and you'll likely get a certain funny-talking fortune teller into the bargain. The music for him. If you have something to say, then out with it. Just worried how you'll earn your keep now. You talk as if the Scions' dissolution was more than mere pretense. There may be fewer calls to action, but we should be compensated as before. Why are you so concerned for me anyway? In any case, I do not want for options, even if some are worse than others. No sooner did Aymeric hear about our disbandment than he offered me a position as a guardsman in the Imperium district. As a former Azure Dragoon, I'm guaranteed to be popular, he said. Who does he take me for? Even without his meddling, I'm perfectly capable of finding employment, and have. Some days ago, a Hanish envoy arrived with word from Vricha. The worm requests my presence as soon as I have settled things here. He didn't deign to mention why I'm needed, but it pertains to dragons, like as not. In Thavnir, like elsewhere, the phenomena caused by the final days abated when you defeated Median. Though it was too late for those who had already transformed, life is beginning to return to normal for the survivors. Of those who sought refuge in Sharlayan, most have already returned home. But many do not have a home to return to, nor loved ones. By an arrangement between Vritra and the Forum, such souls may remain in Sharlayan if they wish to work and study. Vritra was always the satrap in truth. It's gratifying to see him become one in name as well, one who has the complete confidence of his people, if the envoy's tone was any indication. I often find myself speaking favorably of dragons of late. Not so long ago, I would have assumed his benevolence hid ulterior motives, but 'tis clear he cares for his people, and they, in turn, revere him. To know such a nation may flourish is comforting. Vritra's kin sought release from conflict, so weary were they of the suffering it wrought, they surrendered to oblivion. But Midgard Stormer didn't give up. In hope, he made the journey to distant Aetheris with his clutch of eggs. And though his progeny went on to be embroiled in conflict with men, there were times when they transcended hatred to abide in harmony. That is their legacy and their truth. In my lance, I feel the same weight of their struggles and the strength of their resolve, and it lends me strength. These things I might never have learned had I not joined you. Should you ever have need of me, I will come at the very least. It might be an opportunity to earn coin. Okay. I think it would be funny if he went to Vritra and then Vritra was like, actually, like, I've sent some of my Hanish to help Tataru with her boutique in Charlian, and I need you to be a bodyguard. That would be funny. That would be really funny. Ochre Boulder. I'm so glad I was able to be here this moment. I considered continuing to follow in Hori's steps, but I've realized it's time I find my own way in life. Otherwise, I'll never be half the man my brother is. Right? It would be awesome! First things first, I'm going to head to Gridania to visit the Conjurer's Guild and the Archer's Guild. I will do my very best to brush up on my skills before I see you again. I'm so glad the danger has passed. There was nothing I could do but pray from here, so I was relieved to the point of tears when everyone made it back safely. I imagine we'll have more free time now, so I was thinking I'd study up on healing magic, that I could make myself more useful in the future. My first stop will be the Astrologicum in Ishgard to learn more about Charlian astrology. I must follow Ochre's lead and continue to hone my skills. We may have accomplished our goal and put it behind us, but my time with the Scions provided memories that will last me a lifetime. What bliss to think I was blessed with the chance to experience such unbridled brotherly love. But now that Ochre has decided to set off without his dear brother, without the two of them together, I fear I might suffer withdrawal. Far too much blood has been spilt, and far too many lives lost. Still, I am glad I was able to do something to repay those who showed me a path to the future. Right? Not that our job is over, of course, far from it. There is much that remains to be done before true and lasting peace can be achieved. To that end, Hori and I are meant to set off for Corvos. We expect that the tensions between the Garleans and Corvosi will only flare more with the Empire's fall. I still remember the day we sparred together as though it were yesterday, to think how far we have come since then. Oh, right! Even now, I have not abandoned my dream of besting you in single combat, of a friendly nature, of course. Though I clearly do not hold a candle to the Warrior of Light at present, I shall continue to train diligently, that one day you might consider me an equal. Might you have a moment to talk? We'll see. Oh, we have to go to a secluded area and everything? With the Scions stepping away from the public eye, I've been left to consider what new endeavors I might pursue. And after speaking with Kryle, I've decided I will be assisting her in rebuilding the students of Baldessian. Oh, that's actually really good for him, though. Not only am I indebted to Master Geluf for giving me a new home, but had our order never existed, I would have never set foot within the Crystal Tower. How differently my life might have been. I would have never met you, never become caretaker of the tower, never become a Scion. You gave me the chance to do so much good, and I hope to continue to do so with the students. For an added benefit, new mysteries often find their way to our doorsteps, mysteries that could prove ideal for fulfilling our promise, to embark on a new adventure together, unlike any we've ever experienced before. Whenever you have the time and inclination, my friend, I stand ready to accompany you unto the unknown. Do you recall in the realm of the Omicrons when I asked if you thought I may someday be mentioned in your epic? Well, 'tis true that to earn a place at your side would be the stuff of dreams. In the end, nothing would give me greater joy than to stand with you in the here and now. It needn't be some grand endeavor. There needn't be a promise. Whenever adventure calls, I won't hesitate to invite you, and I hope that you will do the same for me. That's kind of cute. I know, right? There was more than that. He wanted to visit a lot of places with me. much as we have already seen, there's still so much we haven't. Who knows? Perhaps we will even encounter survivors of the Omicrons somewhere out there. After all, given how they took to the stars, it isn't implausible that some found themselves far from home. And should we encounter a wayward traveler awaiting commands that will never come, I would bid them seek adventure with someone, and with that partner find new purpose, a new dream. For if crystals can hold fast to dreams, why not Omicrons? Wherever your plans may lead, do not hesitate to send word, and should a commission of interest come my way, you will be the first to know. That's so cute. I know, right? He pretty much just made himself that way. Like, I know it's been the joke, but, like, legitimately. Are we saying farewells too? I hadn't at present planned on a journey of any great length. Not that I am averse to a moment or two of quiet reminiscence. In fact, there was something I'd been meaning to ask you, something that has been in my thoughts since the last flames of the final days subsided. During our travels, we have witnessed more than a lifetime's worth of oddities and spectacles, more than can be easily recalled or remembered. And nestled among those memories are certain essential facts, the history of Atheris and the ancients, glimpses of the Ea, of their culture and philosophy. Rather than simply hoard such treasures in my mind, I wonder if I should not be disseminating them in formal records for wider consumption. When needed, I have penned reports and prepared briefings, but ever have I balked at the idea of binding the subject of my studies in a book or tablet. Truth is given shape and interpretation. When we seek to capture it with our words, it is invariably molded to fit a narrative, no matter how well-intentioned the rendering. An event is described as sad, a summation which falls to express the emotional complexity, yet the word on the page is what endures, a pale shadow of reality. Throughout history, some have deliberately embellished the truth, but I believe many, if not most, deviations are the result of similar linguistic shortcomings, piling one upon the other until the end result is unrecognizable from its origin. Which is why I fear that writing an account in my own words would be akin to diluting fine wine with water. Yet even with the potential for corrupted meaning, I do of course realize the importance of keeping written records. Without them, my search for wisdom would be a painful affair indeed. But what say you on this matter? Should I take up the quill, reflect upon those experiences only we have shared, and seek to preserve them for posterity? Yeah. Do it up. I want another library. I love books. Do a continuation of Encyclopedia Eorzea. Very well then, I shall endeavor to pen what I can of the Ea and the Ancients and so many other wonders. But I am no scribe. It will be less a polished work and more a reordering of scattered notes. In any case, I feel much better for having sought your opinion. Left to our own devices, we tend to overthink such things. Yeah, that would be cool. I will otherwise return to following where my curiosity leads. After all, a safe method of travel to the first yet eludes me, and our venture into the great expanse has prompted an entirely new set of questions. Should you stumble into the unknown, or struggle with some impenetrable mystery, know that I am at your beck and call. It never hurts to see things from a different perspective, and mine is rather different than most. Yeah, that's true. Thanks for the pun, though. Seriously. Spoken your fill, have you? If so, I'm thinking to send everyone off. With your permission, then. Your attention, please. At risk of spoiling the mood, the time of departure is upon us. In my capacity as your receptionist, I bid you all safe journeys. Till next we meet. Bid well. Endwalker. Ah, you get the Argos horn for completing it? Reaching across time and space, the sound of this horn brings Argos bounding to your side. Oh, that's cool. Wind up, Heroes. Come on, you know who this hero is. Oh. Endwalker, Footfall's Orchestrion rule. Oh, cool. And flow. No, I don't want the flow Orchestrion. Thank you very much. You can just keep that. I know. It's a hound, too. I would assume yes, we're just taught how to, like, I mean, I know in Elpis, we were taught how to utilize it to our advantage so it doesn't just happen. Boy, it's a mother crystal, but, like,
I suppose we're off to Garlemald then.
Oh, let me turn this up. Hold on.
Though we ought to speak with Lord Emmerich first. If he's received word of any recent developments, we need to know.
'Twould be prudent to purchase some warmer clothes at least. Mayhap we can pick up a few souvenirs for Euless and the others while we're at it.
Where will you all be heading next?
Dravania, there is a book I've been meaning to borrow from the Great Google Library. And I can think of at least one person who will be most displeased should I fail to visit before leaving.
Yep.
We've no particular destination in mind, but we do intend to stop in Charlia before we set off.
We had thought to ask after the Loporrits. I am curious as to how well those who chose to remain are adapting to their changed circumstances.
Might we accompany you then? Raha and I were planning to return to the Baldessian Annex.
Commissions have been piling up in our absence, and they must be dealt with ere we begin our work in earnest.
Estinian, you will return to Rads at Han, will you not?
Aye. For Vritra's benefit, though I've yet to hear the details. I may not stay long.
I see. Then it is here the Scions at last part ways, each to some far-flung corner of the realm.
It's so weird.
Perhaps. But I believe one of our number, a rather important one at that, has yet to divulge her plans.
Last time they asked me, I got interrupted and then they didn't even care.
Quite right.
Indeed.
Fair point.
So, what's next for our humble adventurer?
The bird. And then we don't even get to hear it. Ah! Something with the Crystal Tower? Yet stand tall, my friend. Our journey will never end. That's cool.
The constancy of this place never ceases to amaze me. An ocean of souls, shimmering and eternal. And yet, something stirs. Yes. Steeped in darkness, deep as starless night. The beast hungers. Alas, I dare not investigate in earnest before the coming of my guiding star, as she foretold. We shall descend to the depths, you and I, to confront the dread beast Pandemonium. Oh, the sights we shall see. The sights we shall see.
Oh, that's so weird.